We have a caller. I really want to talk to him.
Okay. Let's talk to Connor in Colorado. Connor, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hi. You're coming in nice and clear.
Hey, Connor.
Yeah, Eric's very excited
Hello.
to talk with you. So give us your best shot. What you got for us?
I was wondering if a flat Earth model could be just as valid as a round Earth model.
Before we dive into this, where are you coming from this from? Like, where are you coming at this from?
Well, I think you could do a series of coordinate transformations and allow for what they say is like Pacmaning. And you have like a map projection. So if you ran a series of coordinate transformations over the whole universe and put the center of the Earth at the center of that coordinate system, then wouldn't you have like a flat Earth model where any experiments or whatever you did would, sort of.
Let's. I mean, let me see if I've got this right. So I, in the last video I was making, needed to work with a map of the Middle East, right? Specifically the Levant area. Jerusalem, Israel, the Dead Sea, all of that area. It had mountains drawn on it, but those mountains weren't coming out of my screen. It was a flat map. Does that mean that those mountains are smooth? Is that what you're talking about?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, help me.
Yeah, I guess we think it's a round Earth because we do a certain type of physics where we make some assumptions.
Okay.
But do we really know the shape of the universe?
Okay.
The universe, that's different than the Earth. So you're like a flurvivor.
Well, I mean...
Is that what you're talking about? Like the universe as opposed to the Earth?
Or did you really mean to say, do we really know the shape of the Earth?
I mean both, because if you have like a satellite, right, a satellite has a latitude, a longitude, and an altitude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sitting at a lat long on a flat Earth, but it's some altitude up. So it's flat all the way up and all the way down to the center of the Earth, all the way up throughout the
How
universe
could there be
and
a
all the way down.
center if it's flat?
The center would be the very innermost point.
So like the peanut butter and jelly in the middle of a sandwich? What are we talking about?
Yeah, have you seen I think it's the Mercator projection of the whole Earth,
Mm-hmm.
where it just gets wider and wider up towards the top.
Uh-huh. So it's like
Until the poles are just sort of a implied point, like actually an empty point.
Well, I mean,
Very top.
they're there. It's just the way the map is. Like, you can have a map of, the Earth from different angles, right? I'm very surprised. You're using satellites as an example, but satellites wouldn't exist without the velocity and speed required to get into orbit implying around Earth. You're talking about baggage that we're bringing to the table, right? Assumptions that we're making. And so I kind of want to ask the same thing back at you, because I don't think that I'm going to do as good a job as Veritasium did in proving that the Earth is round, or that Numberphile, or any other number of science communicators have done. But what I do want to do is I want to ask where about the baggage that you're bringing to the table. So can I ask you, Connor, what's NASA doing? Is NASA lying to us?
No, I believe a round Earth is just as valid of a model as a flat Earth.
Okay, do you think they would come into conflict at all?
No.
No?
Wait, what?
So if I'm flying in an airplane to Australia, whether the Earth is round or flat, you think that I would be going the exact same way?
Yes, because if you look at a Mercator projection, it is like if you're flying from east to west at a very high or low latitude near one of the poles.
Yeah, but
you move faster along the map.
But
scale.
Here's the problem: is let's say that on the left side we have the North America, South America. On the right side, you have China, Japan, and in the south there's Australia, right?
Yes.
Okay, you're starting at Australia, and you start flying east. Are you going to fly off the map, or are you going to wind up back in North America? If you're flying northeast or South America, right? There's a conflict there. In one of those projections, you're not going to get there. In the other, you are.
Now you're just going to Pacman.
What do you mean by Pacman?
If you play the game Pacman, then when you get to the edge of
you
the,
just
of the
pop
board with
out on the
Pacman,
other side?
You just pop out on
This
the other
can't
side.
be real.
I
This can't be Connor, really? Really? Are you Poe? Like, is this a thing that people actually believe? Like, and it's just it's just as valid?
I think I'm the only one.
You're the only one.
You're the only one. So
I think I might be the only one who thinks it's just as valid.
We're going to get into validity in a second. I do want to ask about teleportation. It sounds like you think that teleportation is a thing that happens to everyone who goes past a certain geographic area.
I'm just saying that it's a possibility, and if it was perfect teleportation, then we'd never know the difference.
Well, yeah, and if you were a brain in the vat, you'd never know a difference either. Are we just jumping straight into anything that we can't know can be just as feasible as anything we can?
No, there are some things we can't know that aren't just as feasible.
Like what? Give me an example of a shape the Earth could be that would not be feasible, granting teleportation.
Okay, if it was a single point.
That's not a shape, though. Could the Earth be a triangle?
I'm not positive if the Earth could be a triangle.
Why not?
I haven't run the equations.
Running the equations sounds incredibly interesting to me, and I feel like
Which equation got you to transport?
I wish we had like the format for this. But Connor, so you're saying
EJ, where are you? We
teleportation
need you.
is possible, right? How does teleportation happen? Because Pacman wasn't around, thousands of years ago, hundreds of thousands of years ago, millions of years ago, or however long. Like, how does teleportation happen?
I'm just saying it's not a thing you could necessarily rule out.
Well,
Okay, but that's very...
Actually, you're saying possible. So if you don't know how it would even work, and you can't demonstrate it, then how would you even know that it's possible?
I guess I wouldn't know that it's possible.
Okay.
I don't know that it's possible or impossible.
Well, so then let's look at the evidence that we have available. We do not have evidence that teleportation is a thing that happens because, honestly, we'd be going into, what would be causing the teleportation? Is there magic involved? And there's a whole lot else. And then, we look on the other side of Occam's razor, and that is we live on a ball. I don't know how both of those things carry equal weight for you. That's what's confusing.
So could I give an example that may be a little bit simpler?
Sure.
Usually when people try to give simpler examples, it's to try and get things back into their comfort zone outside of a question that is actually really valid. So as long as this example is going to directly answer Eric's question, then I would really love for you to first answer the question and then give the example. So Eric's question essentially is, why do you think that something that is, you don't know whether or not it is possible or impossible, just as valid as something that has the weight of a lot of scientific understanding and demonstrability behind it?
I guess you could think you can do certain types of math in different coordinate systems.
Okay.
And so if you could get the same physics answer or answer to various physics questions with my flat Earth model that you would get with a typical round Earth model, then I'd say it's just as valid.
Okay.
Can you do that?
If you're getting the same answers, sure.
You can? You can do...
You can mathematically show that because, like, well, actually...
That would be seriously impressive, and we are certainly not a big enough platform for your announcement here.
But
So
what I'm wondering
simple,
is...
you can go from XYZ to lat lon alt and back for any point in the universe.
It's relatively, right? So you can't actually have defined, objective points unless you're creating a system wherein you're able to, map those out. So let's say you were to make yourself the relative center, and then you can map things out in directions that way, sure.
That's right. You can put yourself at the origin, or you could put the Earth center at the origin.
Let's put you at the origin, Josh. You're the center of the universe in this example.
This is Connor, not Josh.
Sorry, Connor. I apologize.
Josh has not been on yet.
Sorry, I was putting names in the system so that we can, flip to them. I'm co-hosting today, so apologize.
Oh, no problem.
So Connor, you're the center of the universe in your example. How have you proven that the Earth is flat?
In my example, I'd choose the center of the Earth to be the center of the center of the universe.
Okay.
Wait, so you don't... Wait. So, like Copernicus and... you think that the Earth is the center of the universe?
Well, in this example,
I think you can arbitrarily choose an origin, and I choose to arbitrarily choose that origin to be the center of the Earth.
Just as far as mapping things out
Okay.
is concerned, and obviously we know that the solar system is traveling at immense speed through space, so it's not in the same point. Do you agree with us on that?
Yeah, like Einstein talks about relativity, you can arbitrarily choose any point as your center.
Sure.
Like Earth center or Sun center for the solar system, or
okay.
Each work in relativity.
Okay. So, and is this going to account for different stars on different sides of the Earth? Like seeing different stars?
Yes, because in a flat Earth, light no longer travels in a straight line. Unobstructed light no longer travels in a straight line.
This seems like you're introducing an entirely different kind of physics.
Nope, just running all the existing physics into a new coordinate system.
Again, my question, why are you calling us? We've got 8,000 subscribers. You need to be talking to, scientists, right? If you've run all these calculations and you've come to the conclusion that a flat Earth is just as likely as a round one, with math and all of physics accounted for, then, your Nobel Peace Prize is gonna be on the way, right? That's a big deal.
No, I don't think so, because scientists, one of their little tricks is that they like doing it in the easiest. They like doing all their calculations and everything in the easiest coordinate system. And my flat Earth coordinate system makes just about all of the physics way, way more difficult.
How did you?
So any calculations are way more difficult.
Hold on.
I
got to point this out
valid,
really quick.
But no one would like it.
Well, here's the thing. Number one, you're assuming that scientists are taking the easy route. That is not the case. That is just factually on its face incorrect. So let's start, I guess, there. We've got lots of places to go.
We do it
the
easiest way possible.
What are you talking about?
I mean,
So you do realize that... Hold on. You do realize that efficacious is not necessarily easy, right? If you are found to be incorrect about something, that's a good thing. That the push of the scientific method relies on people holding each other accountable and saying, hey, this is wrong, this is why you're wrong. And there are people who've made their careers, whose entire legacies are proving a thing wrong, and that is celebrated. That is how the scientific method works. So if something is effective, right, if I say 1 + 1 = 2, that's easy. If I start creating new definitions for those numbers and trying to make them do backflips, That's hard, but that doesn't validate the second one. It just is unnecessary crap. So help me. What do you mean when you say that scientists want to take the easiest way? Because it sounds like what you're saying is laziness has caused an oversight. And that oversight has both been convenient enough that we've been able to launch shit into space, right? But also entirely incorrect as far as the shape of the planet is concerned.
Also, I just want to ask, because it sounds like what you're saying is you took the hard way and scientists take the easy way. How many years and years of study and degrees did you have to do to come up with this equation that you're running? Is this something that you've dedicated like 30 plus years to? Was it that difficult?
No. What I mean is that if there's an integral or something like that a mathematician needs to do, then they'll choose a coordinate system, and they may do a change of coordinate systems in order to get the simplest solution.
Okay.
That's sort of what I mean by the easy route. So you wouldn't want to. So I think I could show orbital mechanics for various satellites or launches in this system, but it'd be way more difficult than your standard Keplerian Newtonian gravitational system. So it'd be a bad idea. What I've created, I don't think is useful, but I think it's valid and equivalent.
Okay.
But you just said you don't even know if it's possible. So you think that it's valid and you think that it's harder and more complex than what our scientists have been able to do, but you don't think you can't know whether or not it's possible?
Yeah, I don't know whether or not it's possible, but if it's a model and it gives the same answers as the standard understanding of the model, then to me it's equivalent.
Okay, so
I can't believe I'm going to reference JPB, but
justified true.
I feel like that's where this has to go at this point.
We will disagree. If you want to go for it, go for it.
No. That'll be a different conversation, and it'll take us another half hour to get through. But Connor, here's the deal. The next step in any scientific endeavor like this, putting aside the fact that you think that the Earth might be flat, if you have an equation that you have run tests on and you think are going to confound the scientific community, or you want to see if it is possible, right? If that's the next step, to see if it is possible, then the next step is to actually start talking to scientists and seeing if they can disprove it. Have you done that?
Yes, the scientists I've talked to say it's true and trivial.
True and trivial.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It adds nothing to scientific work or whatever.
I'm very, very skeptical of the idea that it is true or that it would be claimed to be true.
What I'm getting is that, and again, like, we're all over the map here. No pun intended. But
you should have intended. That was a good one. I like that.
The thing that I'm getting is you're running an equation by some people, and your assumption baked into that equation is that it proves that the Earth could be flat. And the people that are looking at this equation are saying, this equation is valid, as in, like, mathematically it comes out to an integer that is acceptable, but you're not drawing the correct conclusion from it. That doesn't mean the Earth is flat. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it doesn't mean that the Earth is flat, though you could do all your math in a flat Earth and it would be just fine. And it's not a complicated equation or set of equations. It's just a coordinate transformation. From X, Y, Z to lat long L. So it's just a coordinate, transformation from whatever your rectangular Cartesian coordinates to circular coordinates.
So that's not true. That cannot be true, Connor. How do you explain gravity in your system? Does gravity exist?
Not Newtonian gravity, apparently.
Yeah, gravity exists, but of course, gravitational waves don't travel in a straight line anymore.
Okay, how did you come to that conclusion?
Because if you take a straight line of gravity waves and describe that, in an equation and then do a coordinate transformation, it's no longer straight in the flat Earth model.
Okay, so according to your model, gravity can't exist. So you throw out the gravity, or you throw out your model?
No. Gravity can exist. It just doesn't gravity waves don't travel in a straight line anymore.
It sounds like you're saying that. How can we prove your model wrong then? Like it sounds like you came up with something. You went, oh crap, it doesn't work. Therefore, gravity doesn't work the same way. Like, how do you prove your hypothesis wrong?
Because it's equivalent to a round Earth model,
No.
and would give the same results just because it's a coordinate
Apparently,
transformation.
but it
it won't.
wouldn't if gravity has to work differently.
Yeah, you're talking about the way space-time functions. I mean, that's a big deal, and those aren't equivalent, and those aren't that actually matters. So how do you falsify? Right, we're using scientific language. How do you falsify the claim that the Earth is flat? How do you falsify your hypothesis?
I think that if it's equivalent, like you obviously disagree that it's equivalent to the round Earth model, but if it is, it'd be any break in the round Earth model.
So
Like,
wait.
Make us reevaluate the round Earth model. It'd make us reevaluate the flat Earth model.
Okay.
No.
So,
Do you want to? Okay.
All right, here's the deal. We need to wrap this up soon because we have other callers and we want to make sure we're moving
Damn
through.
it. Okay. Connor, there
Yes.
being a problem with the round Earth has nothing to do with your flat Earth model. It has absolutely nothing to do with it at all. If it turns out that we were wrong about the shape of the Earth, it has nothing to do with and does not support your hypothesis. Your hypothesis either stands or fails on its own merits. So, again, how do you disprove, how do you falsify your claim?
I don't know.
Okay, you don't know. That's honest, and I love it. How do you explain pictures taken of the Earth from space?
Because light no longer travels in a straight line in my flat Earth model.
Okay, so you think that
you get the equivalent.
okay, so let me get this right. You think that we have people who have traveled into space, gone to the moon, looked at the Earth, and because light travels differently, they perceived a round Earth.
Yes, it's exactly equivalent. It's exactly equivalent to the round Earth.
I don't think it's
I'd love to give a very quick, more simplified model.
I feel like we're going to need to move on this time, but feel free to call back. If you can call back, here's the deal. If you can call back and run a calculation in the meantime that proves a rectangular Earth shaped like a pyramid is just as likely as either a round Earth or a flat Earth, you can call back and we'll take your call.
Well, actually, for those of you who are sitting here yelling at the screen, put it in the comments. I'm going to read it.
Yeah.
We'll approach this together.
And we'll
Connor,
also link that Veritasium video in the description as well.
we should. I'll see if I can put a card up. If I was successful, then you can click here at some later point.
Or he
and
forgot.
get to the thing. Or I forgot.
All right, thanks so much for calling in, Connor.
Hey, thanks so much. Appreciate
Take care,
it.
man.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow.
You don't even know where to start.
I mean, here's the deal. A, he admitted out of the gate right away that he could it was neither possible nor impossible. He could not determine whether or not this thing was even possible, so falsifiability goes out the window immediately. He also said that he talked with some people, allegedly, and this person, the people he talked to said the equation is valid in a mathematical sense, but it doesn't say what you think it says. And the reason he's not bringing it to other people is because scientists want to take the easy way.
That
I don't know. Here's the deal.
scientists aren't willing to do the backflips required to get to.
Scientists don't want to
I don't know.
just ditch gravity and light to get to this model.
I guess.
I mean, it would be difficult to like rewrite everything we know about gravity and light.
Or it sounds like he was saying that it is trivial, that it is entirely, that both of them work just as much. And I have to imagine, like, if someone were to say, hey, Eric, I think we're in the Matrix, but you still need to eat and sleep and you can't jump off the top of a building, and we have to act as if we're not in the Matrix, but I think we're in the Matrix. I would say that is a trivial idea. It does not have any way to disprove it.
Again, falsifiability.
And we're not able, so because of that, I don't see any need for, it feels like there are extra steps, you know?
There are extra steps and definitions of things that are redefined based on what Connor needed them to mean. So, I mean, if you can make a pyramid-shaped Earth just as likely, give us a call back, Connor. I'd be curious to hear how that works.